In July, a lot of the time our concerns about thermodurics and TBCs are around actually troubleshooting. You might have stumbled upon a problem. So some simple things to check through that are what we're going to go through for this month's top 5. The first place to start is always your bulk tank. Under 4 degrees is what your milk should be stored at to minimise any bacterial growth. So check, are you getting down under that within 2 hours of milking? Are your compressors working correctly? Have you enough gas in the system? Is your water flow to your plate cooler? Is that working really well? It lowers your energy costs because it pre-cools your milk before it hits your bulk tank. But as well as that, it's very efficient for bacteria control. But the most important thing for your plate cooler is to put in a filter sock before washing, and that'll keep your plate cooler free of debris, which means it won't allow bacteria building up. But an effective plate cooler is very important, particularly at this side of the year. The other things to check overall is your bulk tank big enough for your milkings. So you need to have 5 milking storage. If you've got 5 milkings that you can keep in your bulk tank, it means that as you're adding in a new hot milking, the cold milk that's there is already cooling down the milk. The next thing to check after your bulk tank is actually your detergents. Your detergents need to be the right detergents, good strength caustic, rotating in your acid washes enough to make sure you've got a really good clean. If you're in a hard water area, you'll need a water softener, otherwise your detergents just won't be effective. So always have a look at what detergent you're using and how much caustic is in it. On this wall here, there's a great example of actually writing up your procedures, and this nicely spells out which hot washes you need to do and which cold washes and when, and also which acids and which caustics. That just makes it really easy not to skip a step. The next thing to check is your hot water. Have you enough hot water, and is your hot water hot enough? That's one of the most common problems we find on farm, is that there's not enough hot water. Use a thermometer to check how hot it is. It needs to be easily 75 degrees to make sure that you've got enough hot water going through your system at the start. Otherwise you won't have a dump temperature of 55. The other bit to check always is the bits where your build-up can happen that you won't see it. So your receiver jar is always one to check. The other one though is your vacuum line. Your vacuum line is often where we'll find thermodurics. There actually shouldn't be anything in your vacuum line, but sometimes milk has flooded up through in the last couple of weeks or the last couple of months, and that's where our thermos come from. Down in the pit, one of the key areas to check when you're looking for build-up is actually your clusters. You've got 4 liners that you need to make sure that you've changed your liners recently. They should be changed every 2,000 milkings. Always check your liners and look for roughness inside, or even if you know the time is up as well. Unscrew off your claw piece and have a look inside. Feel around on the metal and the plastic to see if you've got a biofilm build-up. The last thing to check is really important if you're using an auto washer on farm. If you're using manual detergents, you're adding it in every day yourself, so you're well aware of how much you're putting in. However, if you're using an auto washer with a smashing system here, you need to check a few things. Always check that your pipes haven't got kinked or crystallized. Sometimes the detergent will crystallize, especially if you're changing over detergent. You can find that an old product reacts with a new product and forms crystals. Most important thing though is by using clear drums here, we have a great view of how much detergent is being used. It's important to watch that your levels are going down, because if they're not, it's not going in. So just keeping an eye on how much detergent you're going through over a month is really, really good to do. So your 5 areas to check this month if you're trying to troubleshoot if you've got an issue that's just occurred. First thing to check is your milk cooling system. The second, check your detergents. Then move on and check your water and your water temperatures. Then have a look at your equipment, such as your vacuum line and also your claw pieces and any other rubberware that's in the parlour. And then, as well as that, go back and look at your auto washer. That in particular is the last piece to check. For more advice and more ideas of where to check and to troubleshoot, check out our Glanbia Connect website where we have all our articles. And for one-on-one advice on your farm, contact your milk supply manager and they'll be more than happy to help.